Have you ever been to a middle school band concert? If you haven't, you might be counting your blessings right now. But let me paint a picture for you. There's usually a smattering of brass instruments, a few flutes, maybe a clarinet or two, and a lone tuba somewhere in the back row. You've got a few kids who are pretty good, who can hold their own with a trombone. One of those kids, of course, a musical prodigy, in the front row, usually playing the band's one-stringed instrument. And the rest, well, let's be honest, the rest are there because their parents made them. Every so often, you hear a moment of greatness, but throughout most of the concert, you're sitting in the audience like this. On the other hand, take a symphony orchestra who plays in the world's greatest concert halls, musicians who have dedicated their lives to playing their instruments with perfection. And the music you hear is breathtaking. You can't help but sit back in your seat, speechless at the music you're experiencing. At their core, the middle school band and the world-renowned symphony are basically the same thing, a bunch of random instruments brought together by a conductor to make harmony together. Yet, one is so much better than the other. Why? Well, the symphony has had more practice, and not just the musicians mastering their individual instruments. Those symphony musicians have also practiced being an orchestra, playing together and making harmony. And this whole idea of harmony is a great way to think about friendship. People brought together because they like the same thing, play the same sport, sit in the same classroom, and somehow figure out a way to get along, work together, and even have fun together. But it doesn't happen right away. Like making harmony with a room full of instruments, friendship takes practice. And it's why we're taking the whole month of September to talk about it. We define friendship like this, using your words and actions to show others you care. Of course, everyone wants a good friend, someone that they can have fun with and someone they can turn to when life gets hard. But in order to have good friends, you need to be a good friend. And the writers of the Bible have included all sorts of stories and principles that help us understand what God has in mind when it comes to friendship. Throughout the month, we'll explore how we can be a good friend to people in our lives. We start off the month answering an important question: what makes someone a good friend? We find the answer in something Solomon wrote in Ecclesiastes 4. 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do. Solomon reminds us with a great object lesson that we are stronger together. We pray that kids will discover what's most important when it comes to the people we hang around. Bottom line, choose your friends carefully. In week 2, we consider what it means to be a trustworthy friend. To help us figure that out, we return to one of the most famous friendships in the Bible, David and Jonathan. These guys went through a lot together, including an important promise that David made to Jonathan about the future of Jonathan's family. David showed us exactly what it means to be a true friend. We pray that the kids can learn to do the same. Bottom line, friends keep their promises. Next, we all need people in our lives who have our back. Part of surrounding ourselves with good people is how we can encourage each other and look out for each other. This is exactly what happened when Saul became a follower of Jesus. The other followers of Jesus didn't believe that Saul had really changed, but Barnabas trusted that Jesus really changed Saul's life. He defended Saul and helped others accept him into their faith community. Bottom line, friends stand up for one another. We close out the month with an important question to ask ourselves from time to time. Why is forgiveness important? To help kids discover the answer to this question, we turn to something the Apostle Paul wrote in his letter to some early followers of Jesus. We read in Colossians 3:13, "Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you are holding something against someone. Forgive, just as the Lord forgave you." Because God forgave us, we can forgive others when they mess up, especially the people we consider our friends. Bottom line, friends forgive one another. When we look at these stories and principles, we can see that they add up to some amazing ways kids can use their words and actions to show others that someone cares about them. How great would it be for kids to choose to keep their promises, to stand up for, forgive, and love others regardless of the situation? That's why, along with the stories for the month, we're having kids and families memorize Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. Just imagine what could happen in classrooms, playgrounds, neighborhoods, and band rooms if kids took these God-sized ideas about friendship to heart and made some harmony together. Let's help influence the kids in our communities to be real friends to those around them, so that no matter what happens, kids would know that someone has their back and will be there to help when trouble comes. Let's be people who are known for being friends who love at all times.